friends, I'm Kaylee, and this is a video all about August 2023 to give you some insight around the energy, astrology, numerology, and more to help you have more peace, ease, balance, and connection within yourself, and of course, more awareness of what's going on around. So August kicks off with a big full moon in Aquarius, and there's this sense of heaviness and this energy of heaviness and purification within us all. And of course, how you feel the energy is all dependent on your own growth, evolution, development, where you are in life. And, there's no right or wrong, but either way, the cosmos are working within our bodies. So it's great to be aware and be present of what's going on. And when I say purification, it's like heavy energy that's helping to move things out of our body, and especially our lower energy centers, including our digestion centers, and helping to purify us to release what no longer can work and to help us see clearly in the better path forward. So of course, this is going to mean that extra rest, self-love, and self-care is going to be very much needed in August. Now, in astrology, we're in Leo season, and Leo is all about the self. And if you know a Leo, they can be a little prideful and a little over extreme in their own energy and sense of self, and of course, their opinion. But ultimately, what's going on is we're wanting to get back in touch with the heart. Leo is very heart-centered and almost a little too extreme. And it's so interesting we start the month with this polarity of Aquarius energy and the full moon, because it's almost like this push and pull of stepping into your more authentic self and heart versus, letting go of old ways and more Aquarian energy that can't serve. And it's like this tug of war of polarities because Leo and Aquarius are ultimately opposites. So with that said, I invite you in the beginning of August and throughout the month of August to really check in with yourself and identify who you are. What is your current identity, and where are you disconnecting from your true self and getting hooked into more of a persona module of who you think you are? What stories are you still telling yourself from the past? What limitations? And where are your own blind spots that are keeping you from, ultimately stepping into your wholeness, which is love, connection, unity, and more, right? The Leo is the sign of the lion. And so to step into our authenticity, it's going to require a lot of courage. And to get there, it also requires overcoming fear. And the full moon at the beginning of the month in Aquarius is really like, hey, are you going to tap into your own weird, unique self? And then are you going to have the Leo energy, the fire, the passion, that drive to be in the self, to self-love, to self-honor, and to roar like a lion and express yourself, just to put it simply. The month of August also has 2 full moons, which is a little rare, and it's also marking the end of summer. So in Ayurveda, the summertime is the energy of the heart. It's a lot of heat, a lot of warmth, a lot of fun, a lot of joy. And when we look at the body, it's connected to various organs, but specifically right now, the focus is, of course, the heart. But then also, because we're kind of moving into August and later in the season, it's also connected to the small intestines, and also a need to purify emotions. So what blocks our heart and keeps us guarded are stuck emotions, suppressed, which results in triggers, agitations, and even ways that we disconnect from our body and the mind, body, heart connection. On the other side of being in the heart, you may be blocked by suppressing certain pains, and unconsciously, of course, and showing up with unresolved anger, rage, defenses and guards. So this time of year, with the shifting of the seasons and moving into towards the end of the year and the last few seasons, it's important to just check in. How loving can you be, and who are you, and what's going on internally and externally, and where are we holding the blind spots, right? Now, on top of that astrology, we also are in a cycle of retrogrades. So that means we're all going backwards and we're revisiting the past, we're reflecting, and hopefully we're like clearing things up, hence with this purification energy, like really getting to the root of some of the old things and toxic energies or emotions or stories or past pains, whatever it is. I call it karmic patterns and cycles. And to up-level yourself in this time of year, and the universe is helping us all tap into our Venus qualities, where we can find more beauty, more harmony, more balance, and of course, more love. So it's a really critical time to reflect on who you are, where you're at in life, how you feel, where you want to go, and how are you committed and dedicated to getting there, right? The thing about the heart space and the journey to the heart is it requires our own commitment and engagement with it, right? So we can walk around in the head all day and use logic and intuit and think we know what's going on, project onto others, and never sink deeper into the self. And that's fine. However, the ultimate journey, which yoga teaches us, is to create the balance by really creating that authentic connection within ourselves. And a lot of us are suppressed in society, disconnected, traumatized, who knows what. This video is not for that. But the act of engagement is to check in with the heart and to up-level yourself, to create better values and ideals and your own moral compass so that you can ultimately trust yourself and create love within you and all around you. And of course, to do that, we need to, hash out our negative emotions, our defenses, our guards, our fears, and like all sorts of things with one another often, to get to that loving space within. And you can subscribe to my channel and check out my heart healing video and more if you'd like to learn more about that. But right now in August, it's a powerful time to just recommit to you. And I mean the real, true you. See where your own self-sabotaging mindset and efforts are making life less dense, maybe keeping you stuck, and how you can really clean up your energy within you and around you and get present and clear in what's loving, who's loving, and what's going to work for you moving forward. So there's this push for individuality and to get out of the old, and a need to communicate and express yourself. When we hold energy, we create a heaviness within, baggage, and all sorts of other dysfunctions and personality things that happen. And when we're truly living in the heart, we're able to express. We're able to be neutral, not acting out of emotion or reaction or guard. And we're able to see things more clearly and people, and we're able to have vulnerability and better communication, and also express with yourself and with another, and in loving and mindful ways. And if we're going to be real, emotional health and well-being and communicating deeply is something that's a challenge for a lot of us in our society, and it's mostly because of how we've been raised and conditioned and taught. But something yoga teaches is how to create the inner balance so that you can then be able to be honest and transparent with yourself and with one another, and to let go of the filters, conditioning, subconscious things that are going on and keeping you from that place of true love and real connection, right? So in August, I invite you to spend some time alone with you and think about who you are, and consider what needs to be shifted and transformed to help you feel more loved, more connected, and to live in more loving ways. And that's with everyone and everything around, there are patterns that we all have that keep us from love and keep us acting out to get love and thinking we have love and wanting love and attaching to our version of love. By having more self-awareness, we're able to kind of understand ourselves better and let go of the limitation and choose to journey and heal and improve ourselves to ultimately live a more satisfying lifestyle. So in August, we will all be tested, and especially depending on your own astrology, numerology, and your charts and where you're at in your growth and evolution, it's like the past will come back to blast us, right? People might come back around, older relationships, friendships, memories, maybe unsuppressed pain and triggers you thought you worked through. But it's really a matter of looking at, what are you going to continue to be in the karmic loop in? And what are you going to shift and change? And as you do that, how does that then change other relationships, people, and how you view life and reality? Because when you start to make changes within, it makes changes all around and outside of us. And Venus really teaches us, and again, check your chart on where it is so you know more about what's present for you, but the highest octave of the heart, and with Venus energy, it is harmony and it's transparency. And if you think about what the heart is and what love really is, it's unifying, and it's knowing that we're not separate from one another, and that we're in fact all very greatly connected to nature, to the cosmos, to life. And we may not be able to see it or the divine play that's playing out, but what we can do is go within ourselves and learn to resolve whatever's keeping us feeling isolated, lonely, in lower states, sadness, grief, depressed, disconnected, and especially what's keeping us acting out onto others. When we harm another, we harm ourselves. And part of yoga, and actually I believe a lot of religions teach us, is it's like the reconciliation is necessary, not only with a God or something outside of us, but also within ourselves. And so a lot of this energy in August is helping to clear up what I call karma, and look at yourself and what's scattering and making you disconnect from staying in a loving, peaceful mindset and manner. And how can you shift things to, feel better within yourself? And on top of that, there's a lot of astrology stuff going on that is retrograde, but something big is the nodes in our destiny. So we're in a pivotal point where we all need to become mindful and change and transform how we do relationships. The nodes just shifted. You can check out my video on that. And it's an imperative time to get out of codependency, and whether that's with a person, a habit, a substance, the list goes on, but we all have different types of addictions and coping mechanisms and more. And the idea now is to learn to become loving within ourselves and in a healthy mindset and way. And, I'm always going to say mental and emotional balance is key, and overcoming the underlying things that are keeping you from that happy, blissful, content way, right? So this August, tap into your heart. And to do that, I encourage you to be still, be silent, breathe, and be with yourself, and start to notice what happens, and start to tame your nervous system to be calm and to learn what a state of calm is, because many of us are out of balance and running around ungrounded in our head and scattered and who knows what else. And just reflect on your life and your relationships and the relationship with you, and have the courage to tap into the truth of who you are. And that would be your individuality. What lights you up, what do you enjoy, and how can you evolve into a higher mindset and mode while making internal shifts and changes. And this retrograde season, which is like through the end of the year, but Venus is 40 days and 40 nights usually. So it's really about being present to what works and who doesn't work, and cutting the cords and resolving the stuff. And in the highest way forward, that could mean like uncomfortable conversations, and having to look at your blind spots, and having to make peace within, of course, and then hopefully peace with one another, right? And it's really about sparking your own heart light in August. And there will be moments, changes, highs and lows, obstacles that will challenge us all, but we have to understand how the universe works. And if we just sat in isolation, we would never learn anything. So step into your growth this month by doing the reflection work and then seeing what's unresolved. And do you have enough self-love and love for others to make right, make peace, and reconcile? And can you examine your past and what's pained you or another? And do you want to carry that baggage around, or do you want to make the peace and create the peace? It's all within us to realize what we want to shift, what we want to change, and then to discern. So the devil will come taunt us, right? And, oh, are you going to keep doing that? Are you going to keep doing that? I'm going to keep bringing it to you if you're going to keep doing it. Are you going to shift the pattern and stop, or disconnect from that person who's maybe not so loving in such a loving state, or that has too much negative energy, they can't even be kind and loving? You know, it's a time to tap into the heart and the true heart. And that's like happiness, connection, knowing you're part of this interconnected universe, and knowing that how you treat another is ultimately a reflection of yourself. And then being able to break the illusion of whatever may be going on in the subconscious, and realize that how we see another is actually ourself, and to understand that life is a constant mirror and interconnected web, and that we all can get along and communicate and connect if we're able to put ourselves in that mindset and mode. And we want to make sure that the fire within us, whether that's suppressed rage, anger, or just heat in the body because it's summertime and it's hot out, doesn't get out of control. We want to find the balance, and we want to be able to work together to resolve the things. And we want to step into our Leo energy of individuality. Like, hey, this is me. And hopefully that's from an authentic place of love, and a real place, and a place that, you know, can help us all learn how to unify and feel more connected within ourselves and with one another. So take care of yourself this August. Allow for summer to end and the natural seasons to shift into the fall. And, you know, relax, sit back, have fun. And also, don't be afraid to open up and tap into the emotions and recognize all the ways you fall out of love or into love with another, and just consider if you can strive to create the peace, love, and harmony this month, and to be courageous and take action, and to change old stories about yourself and your life and even other people, and to take charge, to light up your life in positive ways that can unify and connect and ultimately create love and well-being. Okay, I'm Kaylee. Subscribe to your channel to see more of these in the future, and say hello below. And I wish you a happy August, and do take time to discern what you're choosing. Tap into your heart space, find that quiet sense of self, and get out of power mode, struggle, and survival mode, and see if you are willing to unify and create more connection, love, harmony, and joy. Cheers and namaste.